James Lund is James the Wine Guy, my weekly vlog. This is about persistence, so stay tuned and persist. So persistence is probably the cornerstone of the beverage art form, and that is simply, and you can apply this to your own life. So there's a relationship between the slice of real life and what happens in the glass here. I think they're really related to each other in terms of when you look at wine, it's not easy to make. It's so nature dependent, and any sort of problems that happen in nature will have consequence in the glass here, and a lot of stress points for the creators of that wine, maybe the vineyard managers, the vineyard owners, the wine creators, and so forth. And I think that's really the promise. So it's a promise, and it's also that it's a little edgy. It's not easy. I think Pinot Noir would be a tough one to be a wine grape grower on, as well as Zinfandel and a few other wine grape varieties. Actually, quite a number that are difficult to grow, and even depends on maybe it's a sweet wine or maybe it is a fortified wine. And there's many traditions of winemaking, not just winemaking. So I have a cup of coffee right here. I have some slow gin right here. So when you think of these beverage art forms, they're fantastic to have, and it really says something about the human spirit, which is it wants to enjoy. We want to enjoy more than water. I'm speaking as if I'm not a human. I truly am. Though I've been accused of being a robot many times, but I'm truly not. But the beverage art forms really give that point of clarity, that point of difference in terms of how we as human beings really want to enjoy a beverage art form, and to enjoy, and it doesn't have to be alcoholic. It could be tea, it can be juice, it could be water, sparkling water, it could be coffee, and so forth. And that's what makes us human, is getting to that level. And I think persistence in our personal lives is that, like wine or gin or coffee, we could give up easily. We could, if it's been a tough year, maybe we're going to throw in the towel, and the vineyard site is going to go to pieces, or that proverbial vineyard site that we might be planting ourselves in our own lives that has nothing to do with wine necessarily, but again, that image is that we let that go, as opposed to staying put and being persistent and being willing to have that vision of going forward. I say that to you. Why? Because ultimately I've been discouraged many times. Maybe I have walked away from something that I shouldn't have. And when I think of the beverage art forms, I think of this truly beautiful recognition in a glass of something that was without persistence of the people who created this, we wouldn't be enjoying these beautiful beverage art forms. Likewise, in your own personal life, in my own personal life, I have to be very persistent in what I'm doing. Sometimes it's easy to give up, throw in the towel, maybe to do no more videos. But ultimately, there's something that keeps me going forward on that. There's something that keeps me aiming towards a certain directional path. I have it written down, of course. I have my goals, as opposed to just aimlessly doing something. I think it's really in our best benefit to plan ahead, but also keep that persistent belief at the front of what we're doing. Maybe it's writing it down daily. Maybe it's an affirmation on your refrigerator. Whatever it is that works for you will be that point that can keep you moving forward. It's also to encourage you. So if you are in a stuck position right now, so I read about fellow writers, and they describe their writer's block, or maybe they're not coming up with content for wine writing or spirits writing or coffee reviews or whatever it might be. And I haven't really been a lack for that, but I could see how that could happen. But I also want to give persistence and support to you. Maybe it's not on writing, maybe it's something else entirely. Maybe it's studying for the CPA exam. Maybe it's a variety of other things you're working on in your life. Maybe it's trying to get a house. Maybe it's trying to plant that garden that never seems to be planted. But ultimately, to give that encouragement, stay tuned for more. It's all about persistence. So stay persistent in your daily life, and list your questions and comments down below. What has been your challenge in terms of keeping that vision of persistence, and what have you been persistent on? I'd like to know that as well. We can also connect on a variety of social medias, which is Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Thank you again for watching today. Stay tuned for more. Salud.